Avengers: Infinity War dropped 56% in its second weekend to gross an estimated $112.5 million. Despite three new wide openings led by Overboard, the Marvel film comprised more than two-thirds of all ticket sales. It looks like we're back to the feast or famine trend, especially with Deadpool 2 in 2 weeks and Solo, a Star Wars story, right after. If the feasts like Black Panther and Infinity War keep performing, exhibitors will be happy for the short term. Those two Marvel titles took. A Quiet Place is a very distant if impressive third, but in the top titles of 2018 it takes nose 3 to 15 to equal those two Marvel movies. Avengers: Infinity War has now made $450 million domestic in 10 days. Internationally it's $713 million, with China still to come, for a combined total of $1.164 billion. By the end of next week, it should surpass all other films worldwide since Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And depending on China, it could be the first since that smash to reach $2 billion. Domestically, it's now $47 million ahead of Panther. At 10 days, that film dropped 45% in its second weekend. The Avengers reached $420 million adjusted and dropped 50%. At this point, it looks like Infinity War should have a domestic total between $625 million and $700 million, most likely over $650 million. All that said, overall gross has dropped about 15%, $30 million, from the same weekend last year. Last year had Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2, 3 new, somewhat offbeat titles tried their luck, with one initial success in Overboard, and two failures in Tully and Bad Samaritan. Overboard, Diapera Overboard, from Lionsgate's Pantaleon, along with MGM, is the newest English-language film starring comic Eugenio Derbez. Co-starring Anna Faris, it is a remake of the 1987 Gary Marshall comedy with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. It retains the story of the original with a gender switch. Derbez plays a wealthy yacht owner who falls and loses his memory, with a cleaning woman taking advantage of the situation to pose as his wife. It's the best opening so far for a Derbez lead film. The mostly Spanish instructions not included opened to over $8 million in 2013, while the bilingual How to Be a Latin Lover last year started at over $12 million. This had an impressive 23% Saturday increase from its opening number, validating its positive A cinema score. Tully, screen cap. Despite positive reviews for Tully, and the pedigree of Jason Reitman as director and Charlize Theron as a flailing mother, the comedy failed to gain traction at 1,353 theaters and grossed only $3.1 million. Reitman has struggled in recent years. Juno made $184 million in 2007 and in 2009, Up in the Air made $100 million. Since then, he's been mired below $20 million. Quirky, which this is, can be tricky, as initially unsympathetic characters, Reitman's increasing focus. It's his third time with Juno writer Diablo Cody, but failed to generate similar interest. Focus chose a wide release over platform. The right move. It is increasingly the new normal. Staggered releases seem reserved for guaranteed name directors who can generate sustained interest outside awards season. Here, Focus bet on reviews and counter-programming for adults. The reality is that a film like this, whatever its release pattern, is increasingly tricky to release in theaters. The other new wide release, horror thriller, Bad Samaritan, from Geostorm director and longtime Roland Emmerich producer Dean Devlin, was released via his production company. With the date, it managed to get over 2,000 theaters and a possible top 10 placement. Final figures tomorrow needed to confirm. It also managed an average of under 100 ticket buyers per theater. Foreign pre-sales and other non-domestic theatrical revenues will determine its fate. The generally weak new film scene led to strongholds for The Usual Suspects. Leading the way was A Quiet Place, down 30%, now at $160 million, Black Panther, down 34%, just under $700 million, and Rampage, off 35%, $84 million domestic, on track for over $400 million worldwide. The top 10 won. Avengers: Infinity War, Disney, Week 2, last weekend. Overboard, Lionsgate, new, cinema score, A, Metacritic, 45, est. Budget $12 million, $14,750,000 in 1,623 theaters, PTA, $9,088, cumulative, $14,750,000, 3. A Quiet Place, Paramount, Week 5, last weekend. I Feel Pretty, STX, Week 3, last weekend. Rampage, Warner Brothers, Week 4, last weekend. Tully, Focus, New, Cinema Score, Metacritic, 76, Est, Budget, $, Unknown, $3,186,000 in 1,353 theaters, PTA, $2,355, cumulative, $3,186,000 7. Black Panther, Disney, Week 12, last weekend. Truth or Dare, Universal, Week 4, last weekend. Super Troopers 2, Fox Searchlight, Week 2, last weekend. Bad Samaritan, Electric, New, Cinema Score, Metacritic, 45, $1,758,000 in 2003 theaters, PTA, $876, cumulative, $1,758,000.